Guys, welcome to Gusto Reactions. Once again, thank you so much. I've got Lala right here. Thank you for always liking and subscribing. In one of our shows earlier on, we redeemed the 2,500 naira airtime. 500 naira per person, 5. So if you actually got that one, please put in the comment down below and tell us you got it, and we'll be ready to do more for every one of you. We appreciate you guys. We say keep putting on your post notification button and telling your friends about what we do right here at Gusto TV. On this one I've got Lala, and it's not a palatable one. October last year, news came through that one of DNW's boys at that time, Lil Frosh, has been beating his girlfriend for so long. The manager or the brother or something came out. Cute Gemini is the name of the lady. And people came lashing at that guy. No, he's been beating your sister, I'll be beating your girl for this thing, and you're just coming out now. What exactly is the problem? It's been a whole lot, and another episode right now has unfolded. Will this matter ever end?
Will it end? Of course it will end with somebody paying for their, will I call it sins, or paying for their misdeeds.
Lil Frosh.
Lil Frosh. When that incident broke out, we also criticized him. We also pointed out his wrongdoings, and also asked that Davido or DMW do something, and indeed they did something. He got stripped from the label, and then eventually he later came out to say, oh, as long as he's alive, this guy will not suffer, blah 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 blah.
Well, who said that? Davido said as long as he's alive that Lil Frosh will not suffer,
but he can't be on his label and things like that. But then again, he was on DMW partly due to Aloma, and then when Aloma left, he made the jump to DMW fully. So when that news broke out, it seemed that it was going to be like every domestic violence or harassment case, that it will be swept under the carpet. But it seems like the guys who are handling this particular issue, they're not joking. They're not playing. And then I think what may have triggered them is Lil Frosh doing a TV interview, lying through his teeth, saying, "Oh, it's allergies that caused." I saw that interview. I'm like, "Oh, you just woke up a sleeping lion." Like, everything was just quiet. Although we knew he was about to drop new music, but then nothing was on the girls' end. There was no movement. People were not saying anything, and we thought, oh, maybe perhaps they've settled out of law,
public clear and everything.
But that's what we thought. And then he came out and said, oh, it was allergies that caused the thing on her eyes. But it looks like it's not allergies, because right now he's been arrested and he's been remanded in prison.
Were you surprised by that comment?
Who? About the allergies comment?
Yeah,
I was surprised because what he took was he thought he had a loophole to deny the story. Yes, it may have been allergies that caused that picture that we see in there, but then that wasn't the only picture of the bruised face we've seen of the girl. And when she came out, she had proof of not just one, she had 2 or 3 other times when she had been beaten. So this latest one, he thought the loophole was smart. I don't know who was advising at the time, but then it looks like they just poked fun at the girl and the guys, the ladies who were handling the girl, and they just thought, oh, this guy cannot go scot-free because he's lying through his teeth, and this is what has happened. He's gotten arrested, he's been remanded in prison, he's been denied bail. Whether that is legal or not, I don't know, because I don't think he's at risk of doing anything to the girl. He could have been granted bail and made to appear in court, but it looks like they want to teach him a lesson. But the thing is, in Nigeria, this kind of things is only when they do this kind of things to people who seem guilty that we don't complain about. But if they do it to people who are not guilty, then we'll start raising all hell. But then everybody should, giving the benefit of the doubt, to clear that self in court. One, also they need, bail is something everybody's right.
Bail is free.
Bail is free. Bail is free. So they say bail is everybody's right. So, but it looks like the reason why he got denied bail, like you said, is he didn't have representation. Now that begs into the question: what did Davido say about this boy? Did he not say that he's not going to suffer? He's going to be there for him?
What I was gonna even ask was, what on the street is, he didn't have any representation. Of course, he pleaded not guilty. He has been remanded in court for a month. And this is against what OBO Davido said when he let him, out of DMW, saying, you know what, is my brother is never going to suffer, as Davido failed on this one.
maybe Davido is too busy to even remember that there's a Lil Fresh and he has
Everybody deserted him.
That's what it looks like, and this is just word of advice now to all the guys around Davido. Like there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do. See Lil Fresh, for example, now they've dropped the ball on that. There's nobody. How can there not be anybody representing Lil Fresh when you've said you're going to take care of him? Even if you didn't want it to make it public, but then he got arrested, he got a hearing, and he pleaded not guilty. No representation. It just looks bad. So now the guy also needs to, the people he works around with, he needs to put that in check. Like, so nobody thought. Nobody thought he rise. See that not giving a.
I'm telling you.
All man for yourself in this thing. This is now word of advice for the guys follow the video. Once you're in the bad books and you get into trouble, nobody can save you. Nobody. This is an example of it now. Now the guy is in Ikoyi prison till March, and that's a long time. I don't know what the guy is a street guy anyway, but
young chap,
yeah. And then it's bad for his career, and I hope that he doesn't take a turn for the worse. In as much as people need to, they need to be responsible for their actions. I don't know how this is going to end, but Nigeria doesn't have a history of always, all these domestic violence or assaults. I don't know what the law says about assaults, whether how many months in prison or maybe how many years in prison, I don't know, or perhaps he just needs to settle out of court. We'll see how it goes. But now that he's in jail, maybe perhaps his helpers will rise up to his defense.
Let's even leave Davido, alone and put him on one side. Lil Fresh is from the streets.
Yeah.
We have street influencers,
like
influential street artists, likes of Olamide, Naira Marley, Zlatan Ibile, Small Doctor. Well, even if we say he's guilty, does a guilty person not have support at all? Why exactly are the streets silent? Why is the street silent on this?
It doesn't have street leverage. When it really mattered for the streets in Mali, the streets spoke up, the streets supported all those people that you hear that they shout out in songs.
Is that good enough?
For who? Everybody came for those guys when they supported Mali openly. People went as far as going to the court to support Naira Marley and say free Naira Marley. I don't know, maybe they resonated more with who Naira Marley or what he represented to them. What does Lil Fresh?
He's an upcoming guy who should be supported as well.
Are you more upcoming? He should be supported, all fine and good. But then we can't blame random people for not supporting him. We don't know what the guy is like. Maybe perhaps where those people now draw the line is beating women. Maybe perhaps. Maybe that's where you draw the line. So we can't point finger and say why are they not supporting him. He's the one he laid his own bed. Let him lie on it.
What's the next level? What's the next step for Lil Fresh as it is right now?
Next step, get representation. He just dropped a new song. Who was the one supporting that?
Do you think Davido would eventually come through?
Even if Davido comes, what's Davido going to do? He's going to speak to the IG or what?
No, maybe get representation for him.
Okay, perhaps now might be the list of his body, but he can. It's something he can do. Yeah, he can provide representation for him, and I'm pretty sure people who don't have representation, they always provide free representation. There's the office of the public defender or things like that. You can always get representation from there. Perhaps he's naive in these kind of things, and maybe that's what happened, and it all got to him in a shock. Got arrested before. I don't know. Yeah, the whole thing is just sad for him. But
sad.
I don't want to be. If truly he did beat the girl the way he beat it, and not just once or twice. Justice should be served. He needs to learn from his lesson. But we know in Nigeria, when people like this are saying, "Oh, justice should be served," there are several others that are being swept under the carpet. Equally, justice should be served.
Definitely. Okay, before we go, Lala, is this the beginning of the end for Lil Fresh?
That the beginning for him was that freestyle, and it's just how will I put it? It's sad in a way because his freestyle was one of the most impressive when they broke out. Zeno came in, this guy that signed to Dr. Dollar, Hot Kid came in, and some other guys. Those guys, he looked like he had more potential. He had the swagger, he had the persona to be someone that will be successful as an artist. Even in terms
the
of
face
look,
and everything,
he was good looking and everything. Someone would have tipped him without even looking. Yomi Blaze and Co. All these guys, he looked like the one that looked like he had the physique to be a star. But as time went on, perhaps maybe he lost his way, I don't know. Or the way he just, even the songs he even brings out these days, like the way he does not seem appealing. So perhaps, I don't know, from the freestyle he looked promising, but then after he didn't live up to expectation. And then when he got signed, maybe the wrong decision was signing to AMW in the first place. So I don't know.
Oh, well, guys, it's quite sad, emotional as well, and we pray, or we hope rather, that issues will be resolved. Lil Frosh gets representation and justice is fully served. The guilty should get their punishment, and the innocent should also be set free. In this case, we do not know the full length of the story and everything. All we know right now is that Lil Frosh is in prison for a month until the next hearing, which is in March. Like a whole month at Koyi prison. That's not good enough. And of course, what exactly is Davido doing? Is it maybe he's probably doing something behind the scene for him? And what exactly is the street saying on this particular one? The only person we've heard from that tweet is Zinoliski saying, "Free my brother." Every other person has gone mute.
That's his brother. They've been together for, I mean, from the
every other person has gone mute on Lil Frosh, and personally, I think maybe good enough.
Maybe Zino would call Naira to help her.
Guys, thank you so much for all this liking and sharing. It's been Gusto Reactions. We love you. We say please keep liking and subscribing and doing everything you can to push the brand. See you on the next one, guys.